So California ended up losing quite a bit of provinces in that last video. I still think that it's going to take a few more wars for other nations to kind of rise above them in most of the categories in the ledger, but it's possible. And I do want to briefly check in on Victoria because we haven't checked in on them for a while, but they're still not colonizing. I don't know if they... we haven't really seen any of the states start to colonize, so I'm not sure if there maybe is something in the mod that doesn't allow them to colonize or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't even care whether there is or not. I understand why there would be something like that, but either way, we'll kind of keep an eye out by the end of the campaign. Korea also looking really well. Obviously, Ming exploded, but Korea looking real good, and they're continuing to expand out. So we might see some almost some weird Civ 5 AI only battles. Russia and Korea here. I don't know if anyone remembers that one. We did a world campaign where it was Russia and Korea, and then there was a big old France, but they're going to meet in the middle, I think, and it's going to be really kind of Civ 5-y, which is weird because Civ 5 usually goes way weird, way alternative when it comes to history and stuff like that. EU4 seems to stay on more of a historical path, usually. I just mean the way the game is built and AIs and stuff like that. But I guess because this window popped up, and I didn't even mean for that window to pop up, California is still very much in the lead here. California at 556 development, and next closest, surprisingly, is actually Estado of Mexico. So they're clearly a lot better than we're giving them credit for. I don't think anybody else is... Yeah, no, that is it. So let's see who the next one would be. There is Victoria. I knew that they would be a threat. The thing is, they've got to take over Tasmania, and they've got to start to colonize, because without that, they can't win the game. California obviously needs to lose more wars. Then we have Ontario here. I'm surprised that Ontario isn't even ahead of... Victoria or Estado of Mexico, but Ontario is tied with New England. That's crazy. They're both tied at 331. You usually don't see stuff like that. Indiana not too far behind both of those at 299. So we still have probably another decade or so left into the campaign, something like that. We'll see what happens. I'm not necessarily going to end it on a certain date. I'm just going to end it by a certain video. So I guess, we have 40 more minutes into the campaign, something like that. Anyways, in terms of current wars, I don't think anything is going on so far, besides the Ottomans taking on Poland, which is kind of interesting because the Ottomans have been doing really well. Actually, I do want to see what the Ottomans did to the Mamluks. We haven't checked on that. They didn't do that much damage at all, really. And now they're going to have to fight Poland and Lithuania. That's not good. That is not good. They do have these guys here. Northern part of the Caucasus Mountains. I don't know what this country is called, but that might provide a little bit of extra support for the Ottomans, but I'm surprised they didn't take more away from the Mamluks. That is kind of shocking. Also, India seems to be really well divided up. Not too much border war at all, which is kind of surprising. You don't normally see that. Still no Europeans in Indonesia. I have a feeling that maybe Victoria could be the one that gets attacked first by the Europeans. Not even somebody... Oh! Whoa! Here goes France. They decided to bite the bullet because I guess France believes that they can probably... Yucatan was eaten up. They probably were eaten up a long time ago, though. France is probably the strongest of all of Europe right now, so they could possibly have a lot of success when it comes to fighting some of the Central American powers. They'd have to fight Estado of Mexico, though, who is technically in second place at this moment. Who's battling it out? Estado of Mexico's in a war against Sinaloa, something like that. So they're going to win that. Is Sonora involved? Sonora's not involved. Sonora, look at this. Sonora got an alliance with North Texas. The big one, though, Arizona, who's going to be a thorn in California's side to get that back. California is not liked by a lot of different nations nearby. I didn't even get to mention that Wyoming took over all of Minnesota except for one province. I thought Indiana was going to take this over. I'm still calling Indiana, India. I don't know if that's just a thing that I can never get over or what. Just so similar. They're too similar. I can't help it. Who hates Indiana? South Carolina, Virginia, and Ontario. Did this alliance get back up? They did. New England and Indiana. So that right there is going to make it tough for Ontario to gather up more development, because they needed to continue to attack New England. Ontario did lose their alliance with North Dakota at some point. Not sure when that happened, but it happened at some point. Oh, dang, that war ended really quick, didn't it? Yes, it did. And now Estado of Mexico is cutting up along the Pacific coast. That is a big pickup. That's a very big pickup. multiple cores, so a few, like 4 cores. We'll see if they continue to expand. Now, who are they not allied to? They need to be not allied to somebody that they border. This is the other war. Oh, Sonora's going to eat them up. So this is what Estado Mexico is going to do, I think. Since they're allied to most of these guys. This was a smart pickup because now they can attack probably Sonora, who will be the, I think, ultimate winner, taking over most of this state. Or I guess they could always fight and get a Casus Belli across the Sea of Cortez. That wouldn't be a smart. That'd be a smart idea as well. You know, Sonora might not win this. They're not looking very good. Either way, Estado Mexico still has options. Geez, I don't know if anybody picked Estado Mexico, to be honest. So if they end up on top, I don't know what to do. Remember, I'm not only checking development, I'll be checking over kind of force limit and not naval force limit, though. I mean, there's a few categories that I take into account. Development is kind of the big one, though. So I think it's safe to say usually if they're the most developed that they're usually going to win, but it's not guaranteed. I just want to throw that out there. So how many established colonies does France have so far here in kind of Guatemalan territory? Looks like we've got no established colonies. They're all still establishing. Dang, France already has 3 colonists. And are they still colonizing Venezuela? Well, excuse me, I'm sorry. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have colonists. It could just be, I mean, because, you know, the colonists could be just there. You know how you can remove a colonist. Is there a way to tell, actually, if they have a colonist and they're trying to increase the settlement rate? Yeah, I think this might be it. So I think they only have 2. They stopped here, and they're just getting 170 per year. Something like that. Yeah, so this is growing by 22%. It looks like new settlers by 22% because their colonist is being used. I think that math is correct, or I think my theory there is correct. Portuguese Brazil's kind of slowed down in Latin America. What's Iberia looking like now? Because still survives. France is now after Aragon. Kind of a weird move there. But yeah, we knew France was going to continue to kind of cut into Iberian lands. And the Ottomans survived the onslaught from Poland and Lithuania. They actually grabbed some provinces away. That's kind of shocking. How's Korea doing? I know Korea was at war with this horde here. This is a horde, right? You have a vassal, Yarkand. Yes, this is definitely a horde. No, they're Muslim technology. Kingdom rank. I don't know if that's technically a horde. I don't think they are. Yeah, that's a monarch. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that is not a horde. But they are Muslim. Anyways, are there any wars going on in North America now? I don't even know. New England, yes, there are. Versus Virginia, Florida, West Virginia, South Carolina. So big, a second Deep South war. California going back after Arizona. They're going to have to fight Sonora, though, at the same time. Estado Mexico now facing their... Oh, just like that's exactly what I just said. Estado needs to attack Sonora. But if California also gains some land, then it's going to be tough. Wow. Okay, so pretty much all of North America just broke out into a huge war. Holy crap, dude. All of this at the same time. I wasn't even gone for that long. I was looking around the world map, and then all of a sudden, boom, I come back. Everybody's dying. I think California should be able to win this. Oh, yeah, they'll win this. Because Sonora wasn't doing that well as it was. Is Sonora still at war with these guys? Yes, yeah, they are. Estado Mexico. Well, let's see. They're going to have to wait for a second. Because this stuff is already occupied. So Estado Mexico is going to have to relax, wait for California to finish up, which they will probably very soon. Yeah, I think they will very soon. Oh, bam, yep. So Arizona still exists, but they also cut away into Sonoran lands, and they are now connected to formerly California-Dixie. So that hurts Estado Mexico's chances. Now, how's New England doing? Obviously, they're fighting a huge force, but Indiana and New England combined, that's a pretty good combination. Ontario's probably the biggest threat to everything right here. Obviously, Virginia not doing well, but ooh. And we've got some peasants that have... Oh, they're in a peasants' war, aren't they? I do believe they're involved in a peasants' war. That is going to hurt them a lot. So Ontario looks like they're going to get some provinces or two here. Nevada also, by the way, fighting New Mexico, Missouri, and North Texas. We need to keep an eye here on Sonora. Oh, did you just peace out? You peaced out with... Yep, bam. So there you go. You still have most of New Mexico underneath you. You've got northern Oklahoma. You've even got a part inside of Iowa. So again, Nevada's surviving. Nevada's surviving even though they're hated by most of the states surrounding them. That's crazy because they really don't have very many alliances. Oh, they're at war. Ooh, North Dakota. North Dakota finally facing a war. As well as Washington's probably going to get eaten here. It's safe to say that Washington will more than likely get eaten. New England is falling to a few occupations. Where is New England at in terms of war score? How are they doing? They're at 0. So right now 0 with Ontario. That's not bad. And D.C. Over Virginia, they've got 9 war score. Now, who declared the war, though? They're the defender against Ontario. They were the attacker against Virginia. So Indiana, once again, going to be spreading their fingers deeper into the east and probably taking a lot from Virginia. They've got claims to a lot of these lands. Indiana looking not bad. Remember, Indiana wasn't too far behind either. Yeah, they weren't too far behind. Ooh, what's this? Who are you at war with? Great Britain. Why is that? Well, what war are you in? That's interesting. The color is like a purple sort of color looking thing. Is that going to stop the colonization? I believe it does. New Mexico is now down to 4 war score. Uh-oh. That's not good. British Columbia. Oh, they went after Washington. I see. So they're going to win that. This is a British conquest of Fife or Fife. Oh, because France, like always, they try to keep Scotland alive. That's why that colony in Central America is being sieged out. Ontario called in D.C. I didn't even realize that. Ontario's at 4 war score, but that's not that much. Sonora is losing their war pretty badly. Where's the Estado war? Did Estado Mexico peace out? I'm guessing they did. No, they did peace out, and they didn't take anything, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. Ooh, who is this? Oh, okay. I thought that was like Austria attacking. I was like, what the heck? Austria of all the Europeans? Because that kind of looks like an Austrian flag. But I was about to lose my mind. Austria is attacking the Yucatan Peninsula. But why? Are they trying to... I don't even know if they're still the HRE leader. Are they? What's the HRE looking like? Yeah, they are. They're still the emperor. HRE growing really weak since the Italians have kind of done such a good job so far of, I guess, expanding in this region. Leon, kind of cutting, pretty much taking out Portugal completely. You're getting your butt kicked by the Great. Oh well, Great Britain. You've got Bohemia, Savoy, Tuscany. That makes sense. Well, that's kind of crazy. So Portuguese Brazil will very soon be on their own. Oh yeah, they've got 100% liberty desire, so that's any second now. I loved how Europe started to become a bigger player here. Oh, did you peace out yet? Oh, no, not yet. Okay, well, did New England peace out? New England is starting to lose this now. Oh, dang. The tide has turned. I'm sure Ontario, with enough time, started to dominate New England. Indiana can't fight the entire Deep South on their own, so Indiana started losing. North Dakota didn't lose anything, but Washington has been destroyed. So the border friction between British Columbia and California will only grow. Keep in mind, this is the only time we're going to see a war between British Columbia and mainly Ontario versus California would be through this front here. That's more than likely something that could happen. Ooh, California allied to Indiana. Very smart move, reaching out and allying to Indiana. At this stage in the game, that was a good move. Yucatan was destroyed. France has pieced out. What's the results of that? They didn't lose any of their colonies. Looks like they might have lost a little bit of land here. Maybe forced to release a little bit. Yeah, they only lost 1 province, I think. So that's not that bad. They allied to Poland. They probably lost an alliance since they just allied to Poland, so that was probably something else that happened. How's Korea doing? Korea's still fine. They're probably chomping away at Ming a little bit, and the British are colonizing Cape Horn. Victoria is still the same. I don't think that the Superstates mods can colonize. I don't think that's a thing. But I don't know. Victoria should have colonized by now. And that doesn't make any sense. I mean, how could you do that? Would you be eliminating their idea group? Would you be cutting some of the idea groups out, or what is it? Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe something in the technology doesn't allow them to get just colonists. Maybe they can, adopt the idea, but they can't actually. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, so one war just ended. That was the war against the. Okay, so New England is done with Ontario. What did they take? Did they take anything? Ontario didn't take anything. How? They didn't take anything? How did that happen? Are you involved in something else? No. Wow, that was a bonehead move. That should not have happened. Ontario, you have done goofed, man. You done goofed. You really had a chance here of taking quite a bit of development, but that didn't happen. And now, well, let's see. Will the Deep South still be successful without Ontario fighting off New England? I think so. I do think that they're still going to have success here. I mean, New England was fighting a peasants' war. I think that was part of the big reason why they didn't have success. Castile fighting Cusco in Latin America. That's kind of interesting. Holland is doing good. Did you form Colombia yet? No, this is just Holland. This is called Dutch Columbia. Very cool. And the Portuguese are still. Oh no, that's not Portugal. That color is so similar to Portugal. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh, they've got one random province right here. But no, that's not the case. All right, well, we're going to have to see what happens. Oh, did the war end? The war did end, and Virginia grabbed some of their cores back. Yes. Yes, they did. I think they lost... Yeah, so New England ended up at least losing 1, 2, 3 provinces. New England's slowly losing strength. That's too bad. That is too bad, but we did predict that it was going to be eventually the fall of New England. Now, what does Indiana do? Who does Indiana not like? Indiana just doesn't like Virginia, South Carolina, and Ontario. They're not really feeling threatened by Nevada, even though most of the world doesn't really like... I'm sorry, most of the U.S., Western U.S. doesn't like Nevada. It's mainly just California and Wyoming. I should kind of specify that. How's the Estado of Mexico doing? Still not in any wars. Now, were these released? Did Sonora end up losing this war or something? I'm sorry, did Estado of Mexico? Well, Sonora ended up losing a huge chunk of land. What's your opinion? Opinion not very high of each other. I don't know. This is going to be kind of interesting, the results here. What's happening? Portugal fighting Songhai. They're trying their best just to win some wars. Aragon's going to eliminate Castile. I think Castile would still be around, though. They would just exist outside of Europe. And then, obviously, most of their colonies would end up becoming independent. So it's almost guaranteed that at some point the West Indies would be an independent nation. What's the desire at? 100%. I'm sure it's still 100% with Portuguese Brazil. Their independence is supported by Leon. And Castilian La Plata not doing very well either. Anyways, guys, I'm going to have to stop right there. We're going to come back. We'll see if... we'll probably come back in the middle of a war. We'll see. Mexico's back at war with itself. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.